Hey.
Oh, alright.
Come on, man. Reviews.
Back up in here, yo.
How does it end?
How does it end?
Come on, man. You're supposed to Hobbs and Shaw, right?
Oh, that's what we saw. We saw
Fast and
Hobbs.
Furious
Okay,
presents.
yeah, okay. How did it end?
Okay, so how it ended, right? In this, well, I mean, do you want to tell me?
Nah.
Okay, so basically how it ends is Dwayne and Jason Statham.
Went back to Samoa, yo.
That's not how it ends. That's where they're at.
They went back.
Okay, so unlike him, these two decided to work together to beat Idris Elba. And that is basically how it ends. They work together.
Where they beat him at?
In Samoa.
Thank you.
And they overcome all his enhancements. Man, that leads me to a whole nother discussion I want to get into as well. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's be brief and give the people the how does it end summary on here. So aside from them beating him, basically there's a virus involved in this. It gets put into Jason Statham's character's sister.
Yes.
She
injected herself, so
to keep it away from the bad guy.
So the bad guy couldn't have it because it somehow left the vial into the delivery system. So
Yes.
she injected herself.
Yep. And I guess it would have been a bad idea to leave it in there.
Well, I guess you don't want the global terrorist that wants to kill everybody to have it. So I guess next best thing is inject yourself.
Good point. So then, of course, because he works for this huge conglomerate, Eon.
Yeah. Phone home.
Or I think they might have been pronouncing it Etion, but I think it's Eteon.
Phone
home. Basically, they control all mass media. So they're like, he's like, spin it. She killed all her MI6 people, and she's bad.
Yeah, they're like Spectre and Bond.
Right?
They're just like that shadowy organization.
Anyways, and then we get treated with 3 end credit scenes.
Yes.
There's a beginning, like of the credits start to roll, end credit. There's a mid, and then there's a final one.
Yes.
All 3 are good. All 3, so make sure you stay seated.
And then two of them involve the cameo that happened really early in the movie.
You know what? I always wonder, like, if I should have mentioned this in the non-spoiler one.
That they should wait for the end credits. Yeah, they should have waited for the credits. If you didn't wait for the end credits, you missed like 3 end credit scenes. Well, one was while the credits were rolling. So if you walked out while the credits were rolling,
definitely makes you think there's going to be a sequel for sure.
Yeah, because there was 2 end credit scenes. So if you walked out, like people in my movie theater, they missed the 2 end credit scenes because most of the theater just left.
I would say 80% of my theater left.
The Marvel in me, I can't leave now because I have. Is there going to be an end credit scene?
Especially with Dwayne producing it, because he's already verbalized that he likes their take on films and the way they end it. And plus, the Fast and Furious franchise has kind of had end credits in a majority of their films as well. So it's kind of passing it down. So let's get into some very spoilerish stuff. So Idris Elba is somehow enhanced because guess what, everyone? They don't even really...
Kevin Hart's in the movie.
Gosh dang it.
It's a spoiler. Kevin Hart's in the movie.
And just to be clear, that's not who Idris Elba was before the enhancements happened. Now, you know what? That actually would have been dope. That would have been a dope plot. That would have been a dope...
I used to be Kevin Hart. And now I was an air marshal. And then now I'm Black Superman.
That would have been a dope plot. So they never really, like, all they say is he has, like, robotic enhancements, which they don't really say what's enhanced. You just have to assume that it's strength and he has, like, bulletproof clothing. Anyways.
He's not Deadpool.
Exactly. Because Ryan Reynolds is in this movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, now all I see is Deadpool when he talks. I literally only hear Deadpool when he talks.
I'm still going to always think Van Wilder.
Nah, the thing is though, I mean, I know Van Wilder and cool, but he has like Deadpool cadence now, and he talks like that.
It's very similar to Van Wilder.
Yeah.
But literally, like, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, so it doesn't really matter any role he's ever gonna be in.
It's just Deadpool coming across, and like especially because it's like weird humor that he uses is the Deadpool humor, and so it's like you just basically casted Deadpool without him having the suit.
That's why he was casted. He was perfect for the role, and he shows up in this as The Rock's best friend. Which I still want to know where the other piece of that necklace is at.
I feel like he just bought one just to mess with him. Like he didn't actually give him the second piece. He just bought the chain of best friends and was just like.
Or is Hobbs' character messing with all of us and he does actually have it?
Because the sequel, like in the sequel, he's Paul. Like you still have
that. When they're talking, he's like good old Locke, right? And he's like they have a handshake. So I'm like he knows him. He clearly has worked with him before.
He's like that's why we have matching tattoos. And The Rock's like. The hell?
And he's like, I don't remember. I was getting matching tattoos. Oh man! And the jokes about them bringing in Game of Thrones, pretty.
Nothing, Jon Snow.
I think he doesn't do well at the delivery on that line.
He does,
right? Like he kind of misses that one a little bit, but I see what he was trying to do there.
Yeah, they give away like the ending of Game of Thrones, kind of.
If you still haven't seen it.
Just let you know that they give it away like in the end credit scene.
Yes.
So you might want to see it before you see the movie.
Definitely.
If you plan on watching it.
Clearly, killing someone with a brick is a little bit of a defying the laws of physics for Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Kill someone with a brick. How do you kill someone with a brick?
I mean, it's not even sharp.
It's not sharp. Like you have to be really strong. No, really strong or have no bones.
That was hilarious. Kevin Hart as the air marshal on their trip. So everyone's seen the trailers where they're on the plane, where they keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and Kevin Hart stops them.
Yeah, he's
because he is the air marshal.
He's like, oh, the air marshal. It's like, how do you know?
Right, and then like the shirt, right?
The shirt, your jacket. You know, you've been eyeing people, all that stuff, and I was like, oh, well, you're law. Like you're basically CIA law, and you're a spy.
Yeah. He's like, you're like a cop or some type of law enforcement because of the way you've been doing this, and you are a spy. And then Hobbs, Dwayne's character was like, that's a pretty good assumption. And he's like, thank you. I used to be one of y'all.
I'm Echo Force Delta. It's like, oh.
Yeah, they just started doing some jargon. I'm pretty sure at that point. I realistically think the majority of that scene was probably like improv. Right?
It's like, oh, like yeah, I can get you anything you need.
And he's like, he used to be one of the warlocks.
Yeah, warlocks.
He's like, yeah, let me do my magic. I was like, wow. So
Harry Potter on these fools,
right? So. There is a lot of good comedic moments in this film. Yeah. Don't get us wrong. This could have been a little bit more substance in the film for me. If there was more of these surprise like actors that popped up in the film, that would have made it pretty hilarious. I mean, these guys have huge star power. If they pulled in like some more people to do like action stuff or whatever, that would have been pretty cool.
I mean, The Rock's cousin's in the movie. Briefly.
Doesn't really do much. That was a very overhyped role, I'm sorry.
Roman! Well, I don't think most people even know Roman unless you follow The Rock on Instagram.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, the wrestler, aka his cousin, is in the movie.
Now, the interesting part about this is, since it is technically within the Fast and Furious world, if at some point, if a sequel or a feature film will have any of the other characters cross over.
They already said that these two won't be in the new one, though.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So they won't be in 9, right? Is it 9?
I think it is 9. Which will be kind of interesting because they kind of made it seem like Hobbs was part of that team, and now it seems like they're trying to go back to where it's just like the main Fast and Furious characters.
And they're gonna do separate. Maybe like they'll do separate and then come together later on.
Another big team up.
They're gonna have like
Marvel style.
They're gonna go Avengers level now. We're gonna start branching off Fast and Furious and then have a big huge like come together villain like Thanos.
Who would it be? Idris Elba back from the dead, yo.
Yeah.
Because they decom him like he's a freaking computer or something.
Because he has computer eyes that they don't explain.
And then he falls over into the ocean.
Yes.
And then you don't see his body, so...
Dragon Ball Z logic, if you don't see him die, he's not dead.
Exactly. You gotta either see him be fully disintegrated...
Yes.
or like a heart ripped out or something. Yeah, heart ripped out in Dragon Ball. That's... A regular Kai blast to the chest doesn't count.
Yeah.
Or them explode like Krillin.
R.I.P. Krillin.
And what else do we want to talk about?
Oh, who else is there's not really much cameos. We pretty much covered the cameos. Covered how it ends. The sister and the weird relationship with the sister and The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne, Hobbs.
I wasn't quite sure. So obviously they have a little bit of a love interest, kind of, sort of, maybe.
Yeah, which is his little sister with Dwayne.
Yeah. I don't know. She kicks a lot of ass though. Like her character does a really good job.
I mean, she's like MI6 Special Forces.
As an actress, she does really good. Fight scenes are pretty good. They're very Black Widow-ish starting off, and then they kind of go back to this more of your like basic butt kicking, which is cool.
Good.
They introduced the whole Shaw family now. We've seen all of them. At least we think so. We haven't got to see any.
Saw the brother. Well, I mean, brother's not around anymore.
We haven't gotten to see any flashbacks of the dad yet, though. So I'm curious if at some point there will be flashbacks of the dad. So that'll be interesting. We get to see more. We get to see all of Hobbs' family.
Yeah. Well, you'll see his dad because his dad went to jail.
Because Hobbs put him away.
Because he put him away. So is he gonna come back and want revenge? Ooh. Could it be that the little name that you see at the end, the little technology guy? He's like, "Do you remember me?" So could it be his dad, the voice on the thing?
Which is really weird for someone to say that's masking their voice.
Yeah. That if you remember, know who I am, or remember who I am. And like, so like his dad is the evil villain? Because he's always said that his dad kept wanting to do bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger crimes and didn't really care if they died.
That could be a cool Star Wars type style twist. Hobbs! I am your father. With technology and everything, that actually would be very similar, believe it or not.
And he's like robotic, and you just have like this huge buff guy.
Yeah.
I mean, beating him up.
Super fly.
Which, I mean, if you've seen The Rock's dad, they could probably just use The Rock's real dad.
Yeah, so that could definitely be a possibility. They could even bring back Idris on the next one, like I said, or the third one, however many they end up doing. Yeah. They're clearly going to make a franchise out of this. What else do I want to talk about? The technology they use is pretty cool in this one.
Yeah, they don't really explain his whole eye thing. They let you see, like, alright, he can see, like, the incoming
like the velocity, the trajectory, if it's a threat, if it's imminent, all that good stuff, right?
So he kind of sees it a little bit before it happens, but like they don't really explain like how is it tied to his movement and everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like you kind of show us a little bit of his technology, and like you see that he has a doesn't tell you how much it really helps him, and you constantly see him getting adjustments on it, but they never say like, oh, this adjustment makes him like 10 times faster than he was before.
Or how much stronger than a normal human he is.
Yeah, they don't really go into what his upgrades
but
really do.
But he catches a freaking, was it like a truck?
Like a truck flips over and he's like, yeah.
He's like, oh! Just pushes that shit. I'm like, okay, if homeboy is pushing SUVs off him, like he's bench pressing him, and he's punching these two, like he's knocking a jaw off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Realistically. He's knocking jaws off.
I mean, they're ridiculous.
He's stopping hearts.
They're ridiculously strong, yeah. That's why.
Because they can take more than 3 chargers, like it says.
Yes.
5.
He said probably 5. They got the 4. The 5th one would have killed them. Even though they were talking normal, it didn't really seem like they were about to die on the 5th one. But I guess he would have just held it longer.
Did you notice The Rock is the only one that made like the whole like spitting thing, which was actually more realistic, right? From all that electricity going through your system, right? That would have made you lose senses of your.
Statham wanted to be cool because he's a spy.
Right.
Spies
I'm trained for this.
Spies don't spit.
No saliva.
You don't see
unless you're Bond. Bond does. The Craig Daniel version does.
Well, I mean, he's the gangster Bond. He's more toward the Rock. Like he doesn't really do have like the cool Bond moments. He just goes around and kills everybody. So I mean, that's his Bond moment. You all just die.
Right. I'm here now.
Yep.
Dead.
Like Bond, you leave anybody alive?
There are some cool car chase scenes.
Yes. Like yeah, his bike was cool, but they never even say like what his bike is, how it's attached, how it works with him. Nothing. It's just he has a cool bike that transforms.
It was like someone saw the first Batman Begins movie and was like, I like the bike they have in this. And then
let's top that.
Yeah, let's make it better.
Make the wheels smaller, make a normal bike, and then make it just like transform and rotate and do whatever it needs to do. And I'm like, but can you explain why?
Yeah, that bike was ridiculous.
Yeah, like it didn't need him. I don't even know why he literally just been like, because it was going on its own. So yeah. I don't know why.
He doesn't call the bike or anything else. I don't know if it's like, they don't explain if it's like integrated to like his neurons or something, and it just like, it goes where he's at, it does what he needs it to do.
Yeah.
You don't really see him pressing buttons on it or anything aside from like revving it or whatever.
Yeah, which I don't know why he needs to do that when he's like plotting a course so the bike's getting the best and ultimate route, so it doesn't really need him to steer, just not get knocked off and die.
Which is why I was saying like it looks like maybe there's some type of neural connection because it's charting the optimum route, but he can see it through his eyes, but it's the bike doing it.
Yeah.
So, but they never say that there's that link there. You just kind of assume if you're somewhat technically inclined to guess that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they don't really explain. They don't explain his technology, which I would like to have gotten better into.
I would have loved to hear about it, especially being.
And there's like a couple times where he looks like he gets crushed and should die, and then he walks out and he's fine. But then he gets punched by them like 6 times, and he's like about to get shut down.
Yeah, like an elbow to his face, like messes with his sensors. I'm like,
they gave him a concussion, yo.
Half the top of a nuclear plant fell on you, and you just like stood back up.
Yeah, but the Rock headbutt though, devastating.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff.
Headbutt, let's go.
I would say the only thing that realistically should have even remotely phased him was that metal thing that they hit him in the face with. Aside from that, I don't think anything else would have really hurt him.
But that's what did it. And his sensors were off.
Yeah.
It fried his computer system, and then they had to shut him down.
So as you can probably tell, we wanted more from his character, right? You're saying he's like a black Superman, but technically he's like the robotic fake cyborg Superman.
Yeah.
Not even that good either.
Yeah, I mean, he did well, and then he lost badly. They could have gave him a better infight would have been better, I guess you should say.
Yes, better infight would have been better too. That was kind of, for me, it was a little anticlimactic. I was hoping for something better. I don't know. It would have been, I mean, this would have been gotten more into like a supernatural realm, but he was like talking about man, the island will provide. It would have been cool, I don't know, something like where he got strength from his ancestors or something like that. Or, just a random volcano, shoots him off the island. Something like that.
I mean, something where they had to really do a lot to beat him up, as opposed to just like working together. Like you're basically unstoppable. These two, they work together. Like I mean, I needed a little more than that to beat him. Like as strong as they made him look the entire movie, to go out so weakly.
Yeah. It'd be kind of like, I don't know, if anyone's ever watching superhero films, like, I don't know.
It's like if Thanos lost to Spider-Man on 3 punches.
Don't downplay Spider-Man.
I'm not, but you would want more.
It's like Quill.
But you would want more than just Spider-Man to beat Thanos after he killed everybody.
It'd be like Quill face punching Thanos with the help of Rocket.
And they win.
Easily. Because those two don't get along either.
Yeah. And they're arguing why they do it. You should hit him first.
Do what I say.
I'm the captain now.
Actually, I would really enjoy a Rocket and Quill film.
It's Guardians.
No, I just want to see a Rocket and Quill film.
No, Drax has to be in it.
Nope. Well, he will be. He'll be invisible because he doesn't move.
He doesn't move. If he was in this movie, he didn't move. He's probably in the movie the entire time not moving. Because he's
incredibly slow.
He's incredibly slow. Okay, we're off topic. All right,
All right, we're done with this one. So thanks again for liking, commenting, subscribing. We're done with the Hobbs and Shaw. We wanted a little bit more. Wasn't quite what we wanted. Decent film though.
Yes.
Decent film. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.